Listen to this, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He said, ليس تقوى الله بصيام النهار ولا بقيام الليل. Subhanallah. He said, taqwa of Allah is not you fast in the day and you pray tarawih in the night. Remember in Ramadan, because we all do that. And we think, mashallah, tabarakallah, right? And people around you, especially non-Muslims, wow, you don't eat. And then at 8 p.m., you run to the masjid and you start, I will die. How many times you hear this? And here he's saying, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, the fifth Khalifa, as they said, the taqwa is not this. Ya Allah, so what is this? And he said, not even doing them together, like praying in the night or fasting. Like in taqwa Allah, the real taqwa of Allah. Tarku ma haram Allah. You leave everything Allah said haram. وَأَدَاءُ مَا افْتَرَضَ Allah. And you do everything Allah said do. فَمَنْ رُزِقَ ذَلِكَ, whomsoever Allah gave him this, فَقَدْ رُزِقَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Allah has given him great sustenance. You know what's painful also? And I see this all the time in the haram, the waste in Ramadan. And especially if there is, may Allah reward everybody who does iftar, whether in the homes, whether outside, whether in the masjid. And what do we do, Muslims? The plate is full, 2/3 of it is in the garbage. And I'm a muttaqi. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. I will teach myself, before I teach my kids, I will teach myself, I'm going to put what 100% I'm going to eat. And if I need more, alhamdulillah. And if there was a last one in a plate, this is why an open buffet is not my favorite whatsoever. If there was a last thing in a plate and there's people behind you and you love it and you like it, but you're going to offer it to the person next to you, you're a muttaqi. Because you're seeing Allah seeing you in this small test. It's a food. Yeah, but that's also can get me to Jannah. And I was like, Ya Allah, maybe she wanted it or he wanted it, and I will offer it. How much that will cost me. So remember, it's not about fasting and praying Taraweeh. It is to fulfill the obligation. But Taraweeh is, by the way, is not an obligation. But there's a lot of things, our obligation, we are either not doing it or we are supposed to leave it and we leave it. And a man said to another man, I wish someone will advise me this way, or I wish we advise each other. He said, أوصيك بتقوى الله. I advise you to have taqwa of Allah. Like, why? Why? This is the best that you will do in secrecy. You know what taqwa Allah in secrecy? You're alone in the room. Alone. Nobody. Right? And you're on the phone. And then you are on your social media. Your intention was halal. But then what comes out? You name it. And the only reason I didn't see it or I didn't listen to it, not because I don't like it or I don't understand it. And it's even better if you like it and love it and you just scroll up and says, this is not pleasing to Allah. This is in secrecy. And وَأَزْيَنُ مَا أَظْهَرْتَ. And the most beautiful garment you will show to people is not what's the brand or how much you bought this or that. It's the most beautiful. And you see people of taqwa, not by the way they look, but by, the way they act. The way they act. And sometimes if they see you are seeing them, they don't do anything. They don't. But sometimes Allah expose their goodness. Like they didn't know anybody is behind them. It's like, oh, you're behind me? So the most beautiful thing you will show people. And the hardest and the most honorable that you will do in secrecy. And the best savings. وَأَفْضَلُ مَا ادَّخَرْتَ. Look how they look at things. Billah, what do we say to people? So how much you have in your 401k? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. No, really, because we Muslims also, we have to plan. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam planned. But why we only plan this and we don't plan that? What did you plan from taqwa? What did you save? How much is in your 401k of taqwa? Like when you look at your 401k, put a 401k of taqwa. How much you put in it, right? And then he said, أعان الله وإياك عليها وأوجب لنا ثوابها. Then he made a dua for him and that person. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to do it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us. Imam Shafi'i said beautiful one. And he said, one of the hardest things on people to do. أعز الأشياء. Right? Think of it. I'm going to repeat it more than once because again, it's daily life. الجود من القلة. Generous when you don't have. It's not generous when you have. It's generous when you don't have. والورع في خلوة. When you are Allah conscious and you're alone. وكلمة الحق عند من يرجى ويخاف. And you say the truth in front of somebody that you are afraid of. They may harm you. They may fire you. You remember what's her name? SubhanAllah, I always forget her name. I met her in person. The young girl who was fired from Microsoft. What is her name? Ibtihal, right? I met her in person, sat with her. Yani beautiful is understatement. In and out beauty, right? And I asked her this. And I was like, don't you knew they will fire you. She said, I had no doubt they will fire me on the spot. And you are talking about a Harvard graduate. So smart, beautiful, beautifully dressed. And I said, and? She said, because I know what Allah wanted me to do. 24-year-old. She's not 50 or 60. How many of people will do what she did? That's taqwa. That's why I tell you, taqwa is daily thing. It's not about me only in the masjid with Allah. It's a daily thing. As it's very difficult to say the truth because what people will say about me. Give because I don't have, right? And when you are alone, Allah is Ghafoor Rahim. One of the beautiful du'as, write it down and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan. I love this dua and I always make it for myself and everybody. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-huda wal-tuqa wal-afafa wal-ghina. Ya Allah, I ask you for 4 things. Al-huda, guidance. Wal-tuqa, Allah conscious. Wal-afaf, chastity. Wal-ghina, richness. If you have these 4, you're done. I'm guided. I'm Allah conscious, right? I'm chaste and I'm rich. Rich doesn't mean you have money. Rich meaning internally you feel you don't need anything. You don't need people. I don't need praise. I don't need this internally. And if you have it, doesn't mean if you have it, it's going to be here. It's not going to be here. أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. Last thing I'm going to share with you is a verse in the Quran. And Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam commented on it. And he said, I think to Abu Dharr, if people know this verse, it will have been enough for them. And that verse, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whomsoever have Allah taqwa, as we discussed it, He will find a way out for him. I remember I gave a 50 minutes lecture about what is this way out. Scholars put like more than 20. What is this way out? Every time I see exit, because here this is what it is. يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. If you read this one in English, it says exit. If I'm going to translate, it's going to be makhraj, way out. You practice taqwa. Don't tell me this is going to happen to me. This is what Allah will find a way. He said, if people know this taqwa of Allah, it is enough for them. You want to wear hijab and everybody scares you. That's what I keep telling you, because sometimes it is, I want to obey Allah, but at least the people around me, I always say this, is like, don't make it harder on me, because already there is me in me, who's also, I'm not like an angel. So people come to you and tell you, oh, you put hijab, you will never get a job. You will be fired. You will never get married. You know how people always, they know the al-ghayb wa akhfa. They know all the unseen. But stay quiet. Literally, just make dua for her. Make dua for her. You say, may Allah make it easy. You don't, until you don't think it is something she has to do, then keep your opinion to yourself. قُلْ خَيْرًا وَلَّا فَاصْمُتْ. Say good or stay quiet. Stay quiet. He's not going to lose anything. Subhanallah. I will add one more, because this is Allah saying something. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to a prophet, قُلْ لِقَوْمِكَ. Say to your people. This is I hope it will hit not hard, but it will soften the heart. He said, tell your people, مَا بَالَكُمْ تَسْتُرُونَ الذُّنُوبَ مِنْ خَلْقِي وَتُظْهِرُونَهَا لِي. What is wrong with you? You cover your shortcomings and sins from people, yet you show it to me. Allah is saying this, and you show it to me. If you think I'm not seeing you, then you don't know me. And if I am seeing you, then Allah, هذه very painful. فَجَعَلْتُمُونِي أَهْوَنَ النَّاظِرِينَ إِلَيْكُمْ. You made me the least of the people, of the creation that you care about. Yeah, it's in Arabic, it's very, subhanallah. So where do I start from here? Al-aqibah, don't forget. Al-aqibatul muttaqin, because taqwa is very difficult. Now you see, like I'm 24/7 obeying Allah. I'm 24/7 not doing anything that He doesn't want me. The minute, the smallest, it's not easy. I'll be a big liar if I say it's easy. But I will say one word, it's not impossible. Because Allah would not have said it in the Quran. What will keep me going is that at the end, it is always million lines under this, with not an iota of doubt, that the people of taqwa will succeed at the end. But I may not see it in my day and life. I may not see it in my life. But that doesn't mean doesn't exist. In every level I'm talking about. As long as what I am doing is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am successful. I have to keep saying this to myself. So I keep going. And when I get weak, and I will, and when people is going to come and put me down, I'm going to turn to Allah and says, you said it, Ya Rabbi, al-aqibatu lil-muttaqeen. Keep me going. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who are from those al-muttaqeen, Ya Rabbi, Ameen. I had much more for you, but I think I gave enough for you for a day. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه.
Hii ni An-Nisaa TV.